Hello friends, I'm just crumpling this paper. You can flatten this paper and try to make it as straight as you want, but it will be difficult to make it perfect again. Have you come across people who spend a lot of time to make this crumpled paper perfect? Do you think they are wasting time? They are perfectionists and they want everything perfect. So today I am going to talk about perfectionism. If you're new to my channel, my name is Seema Sunil from the Happiness Quotient. I'm a corporate trainer specialized in customer centricity, leadership trainings and team management. Do subscribe to my channel if you like the content. Perfectionism is often seen as a positive trait. It increases your chance of success. And for some, perfectionism comes very naturally. However, there are people who strive hard to make things perfect. And as time passes by, it can lead to self-defeating thoughts or behavior that can make it harder to achieve goals. It may cause stress and other mental health issues. So how do we identify the symptoms of perfectionism? Are you someone who procrastinates regularly? Or do you resist starting a task because you're afraid that you will be unable to complete it perfectly? Do you feel like you fail at whatever you do? You find it difficult to relax unless you complete your task, be it completing your studies, finishing your presentation, or even cleaning up a messy house, no matter how tired you are. Do you struggle to share your thoughts and feelings? If the answer is yes, this video will help you. I'm sharing the traits of 3 types of perfectionists. Self-oriented perfectionists. Self-oriented perfectionists are organized. They set very high standards for themselves in their lives and careers, and they are able to go after their goals. They show higher rates of positive emotion and motivation. They also adhere to strict standards while maintaining strong motivation to attain perfection and avoid failure. They engage in stringent self-evaluation. Perfection comes naturally to them. Socially prescribed perfectionists. These type of perfectionists are self-critical. They feel immense pressure to be the best and worry that others will reject them. They set high standards based on what is expected from the family, culture or workplace. This will lead to anxiety and low confidence. This type of perfectionists always feel that family expect them to be perfect and the people are too demanding of them. They would find it difficult to meet others' expectation and they feel they are yet to improve. They may get upset thinking the people around them expect them succeed in everything they do. Taking an example of a perfect parent who may directly or indirectly pass down this tendency to the next generation, creating a pattern of dissatisfaction. The child would find it difficult to meet the expectation and this will lead to demotivation. Other-oriented perfectionists. Perfectionists who are other-oriented hold others to high standards. They can be critical and judgmental. Working together with these type of perfectionists would be a nightmare. They would expect everything to be perfect and would be upset with people who fail to meet their expectation. They would observe even a minute error, be it at home or office. And they would even observe the change in font color or size in a presentation. It is hard to build a working relationship under these conditions, which is one reason this variety is so detrimental. If I ask someone to do something, I expect it to be done perfectly. I hate to see people close to me making mistakes. If you hear these sentences, you know which category these people belong to. So let me share how can we overcome perfectionism. Set realistic, attainable goals. We say shoot for the sun and even if you fail, you will land up in the moon. But if you are a perfectionist, you would not be happy landing in the moon. It is true that we should aim for the best and put in all our efforts. When we strive to be a perfectionist, at times it ruins everything else. let us learn to be practical. I'm sharing an example of a working mother who wanted to be perfect at work. She also wanted to be a perfect mother and wife, have the perfect children, the perfect house, the perfect garden, the perfect figure, perfect friends, perfect meals. The list goes on. Her need of being perfect was overwhelming her. Understand that you can't have it all together. You can't be perfect in everything. Set new goals. Break down the mountain of tasks into what is essential, what is important, and what is nice to have. Focus on one activity or task at a time. Single tasking sounds great in practice, but the realities of our life and job necessitate some level of multitasking. When we focus on many things together, you might end up completing nothing. At these times, we should prioritize and focus on the most important activity. Get rid of distractions, including your phone. Start small, but set a timer. Take a meaningful break between each single tasking session. Do one thing at a time and do it well. Acknowledge that everyone makes mistakes. Understand that making mistakes are part of the process of growth and development. It is said that practice makes you perfect. But if you can't become perfect, do the practice to make it little better than before. It takes away that pressure of being perfect and the thought of giving up goes away. Try not to procrastinate. Perfectionists can be notorious procrastinators. They would keep delaying things if they can't ensure that they do their work perfectly. This would be unhelpful and more stressful in the long run. Starting is the hardest part. Remember that it is okay if your work is imperfect, because there is no perfect time, just go on with it. Finding the perfect balance. Overcoming perfectionism requires balance. Embrace a mindset reset. Overcoming perfectionism involves practicing more helpful self-talk to replace critical self-talk. Even if you don't believe them at first, realistically positive statements like "nobody is perfect" or "I did my best" would help. When I was in school, the only science diagram I could draw perfect was of an amoeba. Thankfully, amoeba can take any shape. Self-affirmation like "I'm not a failure for making a mistake" will help you change your perspective. And to talk about gaining perspective, perfectionists can find it hard to see things as others see them. Perhaps you feel like a failure because you can't exercise 2 hours a day when your neighbor feels proud of exercising 2 hours a week. With time, you might be happy to ditch that perfectionist badge of honor for one that is ultimately serving you better. Don't fall in the trap of perfectionism. Never let perfect be the enemy of good. You tried the best you can. The best you can is good enough. And start believing that good enough is good enough. Good luck.